The more experience you get, the better you
Yes.
become. I feel like at one point I had so much bad experience in my life
Yeah.
that I'm like, you know what? No matter what's going on, no matter what other people gonna think, no matter what I'm doing, I have full confidence in myself that I'm able to
Yeah.
overcome it. I'm trying to show people that no matter where you are in your journey, you're able to change your life. You're able to create a different story, follow your heart, follow your sparkle, because at the end of the day, the universe support you. You have people that are gonna support you.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Relationships with Ericka Ush. And today, my guest is Maria Cherkasskaya. She is a business and mindset coach from Ottawa, Ontario. She is the owner of a marketing, branding, and social media management company. Maria helps her clients create soul-aligned strategy and to launch and sell out their services and products. Maria has also created an in-person and online community MC Society, which stands for Manifest Change Society. I'm really excited to have Maria on today. She's actually had a really big impact on my life and on my business, moving into relationship coaching. And we'll talk about that during the podcast. Thanks for being here. And I'm so excited to have you here with me.
Thank you so much for inviting me here. I'm super, super excited because I know you on a personal level, on a client level, and now to be here as a part of a podcast, it's just absolutely amazing. So I really appreciate you having me today. And I know it's going to be amazing
Yeah, well,
conversation.
we always have great conversations. So,
Yeah, no matter what.
so why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey to becoming a business and mindset coach and how you got here?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh, every time when I share my story, I feel like I overcome so much. And even being here on a podcast is someone that my English is not my first language. It's always give me some kind of
Mm-hmm.
like chills. So pretty much if you would ask me if I ever would be entrepreneurs, I would say
Yeah.
that's not a journey that I imagine myself doing. It was a very natural path for me. So I decided to explore more social media during pandemic. I was trying to learn what businesses were doing in order to stay alive, especially because back in my corporate role, this is exactly what I did. I did project management, business development, sales. So for me, it was very natural path. Okay, what businesses were doing at that time? So I started learning more about social media. My friends started asking me for more information, more suggestions, what to do. And I started seeing results. I started using social media myself. And somehow I became a business coach. And eventually what I realized that it's not just business strategy, hey, go and post on social media. It's also mindset. I feel like sometimes we know what to do, but we hold ourselves back. So I started learning more about mindset and I had my own personal growth journey that I had to overcome to become a better person and stop being stressed all the time. And eventually combine business and mindset all together, and eventually my other company was born, Manifest Change Society, to help especially women, because I feel like we need this safe space. And I'm so happy that right now more and more we have this community that empower women, that we finally start having our own voice where we able to actually manifest whatever we want as a woman. So that's, I guess, my short version, I would say,
Yeah.
where I am today, but definitely I'm a business of many talents, running my own marketing agency, being public speaker, coaching, supporting my mindset clients. So that's definitely takes a lot of time and effort, but I absolutely love what I
That's
do.
amazing. I really love that you touched on having safe spaces for women to express themselves and to manifest change in their lives.
Yeah.
You know, you talked a little bit about imposter syndrome. Tell me a little bit about manifesting love or the life that you want. What does manifestation really mean to you? And how can people use manifestation in a practical and grounded way?
Yes, absolutely. I think manifestation, at least for me, and I'm happy that it's becoming more like a trend. People realize this right now. So we pretty much create our own reality. What we think every day, what's out there is reflection of what we have right now in our daily life. Sometimes it could be, obviously, there's some subconscious mind that makes this a little bit different than what we actually imagine, but we manifest 24/7. No matter what you think, that's part of your reality. And I think right now there's obviously a lot of woohoo manifestation, especially the part where I have just to sit and meditate, and somehow magically it's
Right.
gonna
It happens.
magically, I just need to just sit and meditate. So for me, I pretty much breaks this down because I'm very, very logical person, even though like I'm
Hmm.
spiritual, but I am very logical. Like I need to know steps, like exactly tell me what to do. So what I break this down, I call my method manifestation in
Hmm.
action. So it contains the following, like you have your new vision, what you want to create in your life, clarity about that. The second is what kind of mindset and beliefs and thinking you need to have and change in order to attract this reality in your life. And then action as well, you have to take in your life. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about
Hmm.
action like as we moving forward. There's not just any action, there's some kind of
Yeah.
magic action, which I'm gonna explain a little bit later, so stay tuned. But that's pretty much the idea when it comes to manifestation. It's knowing what you want, having clarity, changing your beliefs and your mindset, and taking the right action that's gonna lead in the long-term vision. So that's, I would say, in a short, the way how I see it, manifestation. It's all about
Amazing. So it starts with a big vision.
exactly what do you want to have
Right.
in life.
Right. And then start working towards changing the mindset. How do we do that? How is it that a lot of people
Yeah.
suffer with imposter syndrome, for example? Like maybe
Yeah.
there's something that it is that you want to do, but you feel like I'm going to look silly if I do that. Or what are other people going to think of me? Are there things that we can do to try and change that mindset?
Yes, absolutely. So let's go right in a more mindset part because that's definitely a big one. Imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
huge, huge. Like even me right now, I have imposter syndrome right now,
For
sitting right
sure.
here. So I feel like partially we need to accept the fact that it's okay to feel uncomfortable. It's okay to feel not sure about yourself. We are human, and the fact that sometimes we try to push away our
Mm,
emotions, we ignore that it exists, and it makes it a little bit harder. I think it's okay to say, hey, I do feel a little bit uncomfortable, especially when we go outside of a
hmm.
comfort zone. So accepting that you have this feeling, it's, I think, one of the first step. The second step, and I think this is where we can go to two different directions. So the first one, let's say if you have a lot of experience and you still have this imposter syndrome, like for example, let's say, I don't know, trying to come up with example. So let's say
Starting
you
a
are
coaching business.
yeah, starting the coaching business, right? So let's say it's something new for you and you don't have a lot of experience, you don't really know what you're doing. And of course, you're going to have this resistance. And I think having the right support, I think this is the key, especially when it comes to a beginning
Hmm.
state. You're doing something new. The same as when we learn how to walk, we don't just start running right
Absolutely.
away. And I think when it comes to these new phases, when you're going outside of your comfort zone, imposter syndrome, that's what you should feel like. And again, like having the right support. But eventually, right now, if I go outside and I walk or drive, right, for me, it's very natural because I'm already used to
Right.
doing this. And I think that we need to understand this part, having the right support help you to give this confidence. And the more mistake that you make in the beginning, the easier it will be for you to become
Mm.
better. And I think this is when it comes to when you're just in this beginning phase, when you're doing something new. But then there are some people that's more
Yeah.
experienced. And I think this is where I feel you need to like create a list. I even have my own list, on my phone, where I take a screenshot of people sending me nice messages when I pretty much have a reason like why am I
Right.
good? And I think reminding yourself that okay, well, I'm actually know stuff. I'm not new. Getting this experience and reminding yourself all the time that you are worth it, you are enough, you are good at what you do. This feeling comes with experience and with this proof that you surround yourself, you have a support, for example, from your coach, positive feedback from your clients. You keep reminding yourself, like even doing affirmation, reading your own notes as a reminder, it helps you to overcome it. And eventually, again, coming back to this, let's say walking and running, or even dating, right? Let's say in at this dating stage when you start just going on the first date, you feel
For
very
sure.
uncomfortable,
Yeah.
right? But let's say if you were sitting on the couch with your husband and you've been married for 10 years in a happy marriage, right? You don't feel uncomfortable around your
Right.
husband, right?
You
Same
have that time and
idea.
experience with that person.
Here and
It's
so
something I was thinking on the way over here, even in terms of dating. When I got back into dating after I was married, I went through a divorce.
yeah.
And in all that time that I was married, all of my friends and everyone were introduced to online dating, for example. I had no
Yeah.
experience with that. And so, trying to date afterwards, that was a huge learning curve. I learned a lot. And there were a lot of online resources that I looked to for information that really
Yeah.
helped me, kind of figure out what was going on because the online dating world is, it can be really fun. It can be a little scary. It's a huge change. And like there were some coaches that I looked at and followed, Sammy Wonder, Matthew Hussey, Benjamin Daly, and I would pull points, look at what was happening in my dating life. It just kind of gave me good reminders about what were my goals when it came to dating.
Yeah.
Sometimes those goals changed, right? As I got more information, as I got more experience with dating and meeting new people, I was able to kind of incorporate the things that I like and that I don't like and incorporate that into my strategy for dating and
Yeah.
what my goals were for dating. I think you do need to establish what your vision is in life, in business, personally, in a relationship,
Yeah.
so that you can create aligned action towards it.
100%. And you touched very good point where the more experience you get, the more clarity you're gonna get at the end of the day, right? Like dating or starting a new business, when you just start doing this, it makes it very uncomfortable. But the more dates you're gonna go, the more experience you're gonna get, you're gonna understand, okay, well, that works for me, that doesn't really work for me, so I'm gonna let this go. And the fact that we break this down makes it a little bit more easier to have less pressure,
Yeah.
right? So for example, if you go on the first date and it's with intention, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
with this guy, right? It is challenge again, like the same idea when it comes to business, right? If you start thinking, oh my gosh, what about this? What about this? What about this? Right? You start getting a little bit overwhelming instead of actually just focus on one thing, get experience, get feedback, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. It's pretty much the idea. The more experience you get, the better you
Yes.
become. And I would say, coming back to this imposter syndrome, I feel like at one point I had so much bad experience in my life
Yeah.
that I'm like, you know what? No matter what's going on, no matter what other people gonna think, no matter what I'm doing, I have full confidence in myself that I'm able to
Yeah.
overcome it. But the only reason why I have this confidence because I had to deal with this negative experience. And I'm sure like everyone in a life, and I think that's also a very good exercise to remind yourself that like I'm sure you had situation in your past where you were in a very bad shape, you didn't know what to do, you were scared, but somehow you overcome it. Somehow you made it happen. And I think knowing this and reminding where you come from and what you overcome in the past, it gives you this extra strength, extra confidence. Okay, well, I can make it happen.
Oh,
And I
I
think it's
love
a good one.
that.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah,
Oh, that's
cheers.
so powerful. Tell me a little bit about Manifest Change Society. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, maybe some of the stories that have come out of being a part of that community. Because I think community, especially when you're in a dating journey, when you've started a business, I think community is really
Yeah.
important. So I'd love to hear more about your community.
For sure. So what we are doing right now, and again, like community, I think it's a big thing. And when it comes
And we
to
even met through community, right?
exactly,
I was
see,
thinking about
see,
that today
yeah,
too. I was
yeah,
thinking, how did I meet Maria? Because one of the questions I actually love asking people, for example, when I meet couples, how did you two meet? But then I like to think back to with my friends and colleagues, where did the connection start? So
yeah.
for you and me, it was at a wedding. It was
Was
a
a
wedding.
wedding. That's true.
And
Yeah.
that connection came from a relationship that I had previously been
Yeah.
in. But, obviously we remained a part of the community. And so community is very powerful.
Community is super powerful, and the reason why community is powerful, it's the support that you're getting from people. And I think when it comes to, especially if you're going through the tough time, challenging time, or you're trying to reach your next level, motivation goes away. People that support you, that's a key for
Mm,
success. So I have multiple communities right now. There's one more related to business, and there's a one right now related to personal growth and development. I do have a more online community right now. This is more about where I'm sharing my strategy, when I talk more about like time management, stress management, some of the goal settings. So this is right now more ad hoc community online. There's some people that work one-on-one. Once in a while, I do events in
hmm.
person. It was a while since I did the last one because I'm trying to manage everything in one place. When I feel like there is some kind of calling saying, okay, well, I need to bring my people together. Sometimes it could be like a very small 8 to 10 people coming together, talking about goals, where you are, what's been going on in life, or sometimes it's more about like bigger events, more fancy, everyone is dressing up,
Oh, fun.
and
Doing some
yes, so they're like
content.
with some content, yes, for sure. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show people that no matter where you are in your journey, you're able to change your life. You're able to create a different story for yourself. And that's what this whole community is about. And right now, I have my own online course, group coaching, but I'm very loose in terms of what my community need, what kind of support are they looking right now. So if I need to bring a guest speaker, I can make it happen. If I feel like I need to bring people together, I make it happen as well. So this community is all about serving people that need my help. And again, sometimes when I have bad experience, and when I share how I overcome it, I know that this creates this extra special meaning, this extra special experience that I'm able to overcome my pain and then help my story to help others to heal
Right.
as well. Because at the end of the day, I'm a human being, right? I'm still trying to figure out things as well on
Sure.
my end. And I'm doing the best what I can and then trying to support people that just need to have this extra light, extra sparkle in
Mhm.
a life where you know, it could be different. What you have right now, it's a bare minimum that you manifested.
Right.
It's your bare minimum what you have, what you're supposed to have. And I know that manifestation and all the thoughts that come to you, that's pretty much visions that it's possible for you. So let's say it probably would never come to my mind that become a doctor. It's just not my
Hmm.
thing, right? But I know there's so many
Hmm.
doctors. And the reason why idea come to you at a certain period of your life, it means that you have enough energy and resources and a time right now to make it
Right.
happen. So back like 5, 7 years ago, I even didn't think about
Right.
business,
Your mind was
right?
somewhere
So
else.
exactly, right? And then when you have this idea, when you have this urge, okay, well, how about I'm just gonna make changes in my life? You need to get the support. You need to make sure that you feel safe, especially sometimes your partner might not support, your friend might not really
Absolutely.
understand you,
Yeah.
right? you need to get like this support from somewhere. So that's what I'm doing. And again, we're doing this in person in Ottawa, online. If you want to join, obviously reach out to me on Instagram and I can provide you more different ways how you could be a part of this community, because at the end of the day, we all different, and I'm just here to, again, I'm here to serve people, and that's
Oh,
what
well,
I'm
and you
doing.
do it so well. I mean, you really do. And I think you're really
Thank you.
excellent at seeing things within people and help pulling it out of them. So, I really appreciate you for that and helping me get on this path as well. I was just thinking what you said in terms of resources, community bringing about resources, because you don't know all of the things that you might be able to
Yeah,
access other people's different life experiences or different practical
yeah,
experiences that they're able to share with you can help bring you onto your path and help you grow with the business that you might be looking to start, or if you currently have a business and you're looking to take it down a different path or grow it in a different way. There are so many things within a community that you would be able to access, that knowledge that other people have. It could be so many things like where to access funds, online grants, different strategies that they used. So,
exactly. And again, it happens all the time. Let's say we have an online call and someone just shares that, let's say they struggle with imposter syndrome, right? And then all of a sudden there's, oh, me too,
yeah,
and me too, and oh my gosh, there's nothing wrong with me. There's some people that struggle as well. Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with me, and I also have the same experience. It unites people as well. It makes you feel better as well. Okay, even if I'm struggle, I'm not the
for
only
sure.
one that has this experience. And of course, exchanging information, exchanging knowledge, and so many friends. You make so many
Yes,
friends. And as adult, I feel like this is lost skill. It is so right now hard to make new
right. Is it because of
friends.
social media, do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And when you meet someone that on a similar journey with you, you connect and you become friends. And like I know a story from a very long time ago, and I still see this picture sometimes online. There's a two girls that met during my event. They become a
Oh, that's
best friend. They right now like travel,
amazing.
they spend time together, and every time like, oh my gosh, this is like
Yeah.
chill. And this is not just one example. I connected so many
Yeah.
people, and I have this extra special feeling, making an impact on someone else's
Yeah.
life. And I think it's amazing to get this kind of support and friends. And that's what community is all about. Of course, there's many communities. You just need to stick with the right one. What feels aligned to you? What feels
Yeah.
good about it? And I think it's okay to walk away. If you don't really like it, walk away. If you don't feel supported and heard, understood, that's not your
Right.
community,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. It
So
energetically needs to feel good.
100%. Sometimes you just connect with people. Why? You don't know. You just have this
Yeah.
connection. Yeah, for sure.
You mentioned the word impact, and I was actually at TEDx Talks yesterday. It was TEDx Mechanicsville, and one of the speakers had talked about impact in terms of someone who might be suffering from imposter syndrome. Actually, there's another podcast that I listened to as well, where they were talking about the number of hours it takes to become an expert or to feel really comfortable in what you're doing. They threw out the number 10,000. But really, what they were trying to say is that you do have to take aligned action and put in
Yeah,
the hours to get towards the goals that you want. And you need
yeah,
to start somewhere and then keep going, right? Keep pushing yourself to get
yeah.
more knowledge within the field that you're trying to grow within. And then, in terms of impact, or like we've just been talking about, is that there are other people who need the message that you have to bring. There are people out there who are really wanting and craving the knowledge that you have and that you can share and that you can really make an impact. So think about the impact that you want to make. Who is it that you want to impact? And do it for yourself, but also do it for them.
Great perspective, for sure. And I think that's why I keep going, no matter how hard it is, because building the business is very
Yeah.
hard. I think it's a biggest personal growth journey when it comes to building a
Yes.
business. You grow like massively. And I think that's the reason why I keep going. It's just because I do have a story to share. I know it helps other people. I know sometimes we need to speak up about what's going on. And I think no matter how hard it is, you share your story and you help others. And I think that's so powerful. That makes this like you turn your negative experience into something
Absolutely.
good at the end of the day. And it doesn't mean that, now if someone in this journey right now where you're still struggling, the fact that, it doesn't have to, that you have to share your
Hmm.
story. You can
Right.
if you want, right? But it's important to speak up about what's going on, talk to like a coach, get the support. And I feel so blessed and lucky that we live in this period of life where we get so many resources available so you can actually get help compared to, for example, our parents, right?
Hmm.
Grandparents. So you have this available. Like, why suffer? Like, seriously. If I have a problem, just go and, I hire a
Right.
help.
Absolutely.
Like, why do we make this
Yeah.
complicated?
Yeah. And, I mean, it could be sometimes people don't know where to access the resources. Sometimes funds could be an issue, but there are a lot of free tools that are available, at least to get yourself started. There's communities that you can join.
Yeah,
And then, later on, as your business grows, for example, then there's more of a monetary component because you're making an investment. At that point, you're making an
100%.
investment in growth.
So you just touched on a couple points that I like. You mentioned
Hmm.
intention, and I think that's very powerful step. Sometimes just have an intention, well, I want to get
Yes.
better,
Yes.
and be open at any possibility that comes to your way. And I think having intention first, like coming back to this like vision, okay, well, I want to do something
Hmm.
different. This is intention that you throw into the new universe, God, or
Hmm.
whatever you believe, right? Having this intention, hey, I want
Yeah.
to get better. I don't know how, but I'm open to get
Yeah.
better. And I'm sure the universe, and again, like whoever you believe, right, it's going to
Yes.
respond if you're just going to throw this
Yeah.
intention.
Um, Goals and vision. Oh, actually, the thing that I did want to mention too is, like in terms of coaching, I think there are a lot of misconceptions about coaching, but a good coach is not just to tell you what to do or what they think. They, help you meet your goals, right? Help you set your, what your vision is and help you figure out the path towards meeting those goals and then hold you
Yeah.
accountable too, right? Help
Yeah.
you hold yourself accountable. And so, how is it that, for yourself personally, even when you're setting a goal, is it something that you're doing throughout the year? Do you like to do it at the beginning of the year? Do you have any thoughts around goal setting?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Lots of thoughts.
Let's hear it. Let's hear them all.
Of course, I have my vision when it comes to my next 3 to 5 years. Usually I do that through the vision board. I think creating vision board is a super
Yeah.
powerful tool. And whoever is listening right now, I am willing to give away my free workshop when it comes to
Excellent.
like
That's a
vision.
resource that you want.
That
Okay.
resource, yeah, that's the resource you want. Just send me magic word in my Instagram. Let's do like podcast with Ericka. We'll be more than happy to do this vision board. So that's kind of the idea where I'm actually going in the next 3 to 5 years. So obviously there is some monthly planning, daily planning, and weekly planning exist as well because I need to ensure that when I do in a daily life support my long-term
Hmm.
vision. And I'm gonna talk about
Yeah.
action
Yeah.
after that, but I'm gonna answer about goal settings. And so obviously there's some planning that you have to make it happen. What's important, and I feel like we live on an
Hmm.
autopilot. Most people believe that live on an autopilot is a
Right.
bad thing. I believe this is absolutely a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. And the reason why, because you create your routine and a habit that actually
Yes.
support you. You don't really think about it when you go in the morning and brush your teeth. The same when it comes to building a business, finding a husband. It's all about systems, routines, habits that you put in place in your
Hmm.
life that
Hmm.
support you. And I think that's what people trying to, they stick on this planning phase instead of actually building a habit. Let's say if you wanted to get married, how about you're gonna create like a habit that you're gonna go to online dating, or let's say if you're gonna go to a date
Mm-hmm.
once a week, so if you wanna get more clients, how about you, let's say, be more consistent with your
Mm-hmm.
social media, right? So what's some of the habits that's going to support me when it comes to posting
Mm-hmm.
consistently? And I think that's when we have this habits and routine put in place, it's much easier to keep up and be consistent. People start changing, and all of a sudden on Monday, building my
Yes.
new life.
Yes.
Right now, I feel like I need to come back to this beautiful tradition that I created. So pretty much every month, I introduce a new habit
Mm-hmm.
for myself. So for me right now, what I do in the morning, it sounds crazy for many people, but I wake up, meditate, I drink
Mm-hmm.
water in the morning, I do a little bit stretching, I do journaling, and it takes like an hour or so. Yeah, it takes me a while, but I don't think
Because
anymore
it's on
about this.
autopilot now. Yeah.
It's on autopilot, but it took me a while to get there. But in the evening, I meditate as well. I do journaling. I read my books again without even
Mm-hmm.
thinking, just because it's part of my
Yes.
routine. And I think when it's part of your routine, it's just much easier and
Right.
consistent. And when it comes to goals, when you set a goals, okay, well, what do I want to do in the long term? What am I doing right now in my daily life? What do I need to let go? What do I need to automate? What do I need to optimize? What do I need to add in my life so I'm closer and closer to my goals? And when it comes to action, I wanted to mention it that it's not just action, because I feel like a lot of people do a lot of
Mm-hmm.
action, and the end is just they feel overburned, they're not really going anywhere. It's all about action, action,
Yes.
action,
So it
action.
needs to be the right aligned action.
Align, align action, and that's why it's important to have your own vision. But it's not just align; it's also inspire
Mm-hmm.
action. So, do you know sometimes that you have this like nudge all of a sudden to call someone, post something, do
Yeah.
something, reach out, go outside. You have this nudge, reach out to someone, go to this event. This like nudge all
Yes.
of a sudden, like
Yeah.
out of
That just
nowhere.
kind of that something inside you
Yeah,
that's telling you, this could be the right path for me today.
yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of people start over analyzing or overthink instead of actually following
Yes.
this nudge.
Stop thinking and just do.
Exactly. And I think we have this like exercise where you need to find out your why. Why do you do
Yes.
that? It works, when you're thinking about long-term vision, but when it comes like daily, like why do we do that? Because seriously, when, I want to get the ice cream, well, go get the
Yeah.
ice cream. You don't need to justify why do you
Yeah.
want something. We justify why do I want to do something just
Right. Or
because.
are we justifying it to ourselves, or are we like in our head justifying it to other people?
Exactly. Because as soon as you start justifying, you're thinking with your
Mm-hmm.
brain. When it comes to being aligned and fulfilling your purpose, it's this inner voice that you need to listen to
Mm.
yourself. When I stop asking why do I want to do something and I just kind of start following intuition more and
Yeah.
more, my life becomes so much
Yeah.
easier. It's like stop asking yourself why. If you want to do so, if you have this idea, why not you just go and
Yeah.
explore?
Yeah. What's the
So
worst that could happen? Sometimes I feel
exactly.
like we almost need, what one thing that I used to do is I started to think about all the worst things that I thought could happen. And it's like I almost got them out of the way so that I don't need to worry about, if they happen or if they don't happen. They've
Yeah.
already happened in my mind. Now I can just move forward and keep
Yeah.
going towards the things that I'm looking for and the things that I want.
Yeah, that's a good strategy when it comes to like fears, right? You can write down what worse could happen and try to create what would I do if
Yeah.
that happened, right? So you're creating this safety net for yourself that allows you to live with elevate
Mm-hmm.
pressure. That's a good strategy to have and to deal with this. But also, what if good things gonna happen,
Absolutely. There are
right?
so many great things that will happen if you take the
Yeah,
aligned action and move
yeah,
past your fears. We were talking a lot about writing. So, I have an example and I want to talk to you about your journaling.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I did after I had kind of a major breakup for me, one of the things that I did, and I had kind of gone through my dating journey,
Mm-hmm.
was I wrote down all of the qualities that I wanted in a partner. I wrote down every single thing
Yeah.
because I am ready to meet my person,
Yeah.
and I want to meet the person that I'm going to spend my life with and build something with.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wrote down everything. I wrote it all
Yeah.
down. I wrote it in a Google Doc, maybe just because it was faster for me to type, but I wrote
Yeah.
everything down. I was so explicit and just in terms of, what is it that they were like? What kind of values did they have? What are the things that
Mm-hmm.
we would do together? What are the things that they might enjoy? The thing about it is that I wasn't going to entertain
Mm-hmm.
anyone who wasn't really in line with that vision anymore.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, that's pretty much exactly how it works when you have this clarity. And I like to use word,
Clarity.
especially when it comes to
Yes.
clarity. And there's another one that it's not about
Mm,
expectations, because when you expect, it might be a little bit challenging, but it's about
mm-hmm.
requirements. When you apply for a
Right.
job, what kind of requirements you looking for? The same when it comes to, your partner life. What kind of requirements do you have when it comes to your future
Right.
husband? What kind of requirements do you have when it comes to building your perfect business? It's
Right.
requirements, right? You write this down. There's this list. This is my
Yes.
requirements, not expectations. No, it's either gonna be aligned with what I'm looking for. It's not gonna be
Yeah,
aligned. So it's easier to say no at the
for
end of the
sure.
day.
But I think a lot of women have trouble saying no. And I guess a lot of that comes from our inner critic, from fears that we have of not meeting that person.
Yeah. Yeah. Percent.
So it's trying to move past those fears and being okay to say no to what is
No,
not
to
going
say
to serve you.
yes, for sure. That's why when you focus more on yourself, when it comes to like saying no, it's a
Hmm.
challenge, right? This especially like in relationship. Again, like when you focus on creating the best life for yourself, focus on having a good social life, you know, doing some fun activities for
Yes.
yourself. So I think it's become much easier to say no to
Hmm.
someone. I know what I learned, let's say, from my own dating experience is when your heart gets broken,
Hmm.
that's a way the universe tells you that's a lesson how you need to love yourself
Hmm.
more. Because at the end of the day, you might be in a good relationship, healthy relationship, and your partner might love you. But if you have this feeling inside you that you don't spoil yourself enough,
Hmm.
you still gonna crave this from your
Yeah.
partner. The same when you're single, right? You're gonna crave this validation from other people when you need to validate
First. Yeah.
yourself. If you have this breakup in the past when you got hurt, it means that you need to learn how to love yourself. And that just kind of was like a perspective that helped me, and because my heart was broken multiple times as well, unfortunately, but it is what it
Yeah.
is. You focus on yourself. How can I get
Yeah.
better? I think that again come to this intention, like how
And I
better?
love myself first.
How can I love myself first? What can I do to make myself like better? Maybe having more friends, having more support. And in terms of love, I think it's such a beautiful feeling, but so many different loves at the end of the day. There's a relationship between friends, there's a relationship between parents, there's a relationship between kids. If you want to receive a love, give love first, and you might go on a volunteer, for
Hmm.
example, and you're gonna get this validation from other
Right.
people. So it's about what some of the needs right now that not being met, and how can I fulfill them. And it doesn't mean that a partner or a boyfriend or guy that you're dating usually maybe not able to give you, but it doesn't mean that you're not able to fulfill
Hmm.
this.
Yes. It could be an activity or a hobby, an interest, or, other people, friends, community.
100%. Because I think that we grew up with this idea, if I'm not married, if I'm not in love, if I'm not in a relationship, it means there's something wrong with me. And I think this is, as a woman, we need to change the story for ourselves. It doesn't define you. There's something wrong with you or not. Doesn't make you better or doesn't make you worse. It is what it is, right? The same, let's say I have blue eyes. That's what it is. It's not good. It's not bad. It is what it is. And if you want to have a relationship, figure out how to make this better. Get support, get resources. Everything is figurable. Everything, you're able to change anything.
Absolutely. Well, this was really amazing. I enjoyed this conversation. I feel like we touched on so many things. Is there anything that you want to leave the audience with?
Let me listen to my intuition. What should I say? I think the common theme that how can you get better? I just want to remind people, no matter where you are in your journey, it could be different. You're able to change. You have this power within you that you're able to manifest a better version of yourself, no matter what your parents tell you, no matter what your partner tells you, your friends. You always need to trust yourself. You have this magic power inside you to follow your heart, to follow your sparkle, because at the end of the day, the universe supports you. You have people that are going to support you no matter what, where you are right now. It will get better. I think that's the message that comes to me right now, and I hope it's going to help. If that's going to help one person, that's going to make me happy.
Oh, well, you're already helping so many people that I know, and I know you're going to continue to do so. Where can the audience reach you?
Yes, so definitely my Instagram, I think we're going to probably
Put the
put
link.
some links because I do have difficult last name, Cherkasskaya. Originally, I'm from Russia, so yeah, definitely Instagram, Facebook would be the best way how to reach out. I do have a different Instagram pages for my marketing agency for Manifest Change Society as well. I usually like to direct people in the right direction because I do have a lot of free resources available as well. So reach out to me on Instagram if you want to connect. I never pressure anyone. For me, again, like I'm here to help, to serve. If you feel like you want to connect, I'm open to have a coffee chat. I'm open to have a connection call. So yeah, definitely my Instagram is, I would be more than happy to have a conversation with people.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thanks to everyone who listened today. Thanks for supporting the Ericka Ush Relationship Podcast. I'm looking forward to, maybe having you on again and having another conversation. Until then, thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I just want to say, because I know you for quite some time, and I just want to also to say, I admire you. I know how much you have worked, what you have built, how you changed your life. You are absolutely incredible human being, and I'm just so happy that you're part of my life. I just want to say you are amazing. Thank you so much for being here
Thank
today
you.
as well.
Thank you.